So this lesson is math in its like basic, most pure form. There are no words. It's just solving equations. I do have the best pencil sharpener on campus. I just want you to know. So you're going to do legal stuff to both sides. It'll be like that last problem we just did where we were subtracting from both sides and dividing to both sides. That's what you're going to do for this whole lesson without doing anything in the context of word problems. All right? So first thing, legal moves on both sides. Whatever you do, there's real math and there's fake math, and people try and fake it and do stuff that's illegal on both sides, or they do it to one side and they forget to do it to the other. So it's got to be legal moves on both sides of the equation. The other thing is that we want to work on no decimals for our answers. Okay, and you might be wondering, like, how am I supposed to do that? All right, well, you're going to let your calculator do that for you. Okay, never fear. Your calculator can handle just about anything. So suppose you get an answer that's like, it works out on the calculator to be, there we go. Give me a decimal. 1 point, that's it? That's all you want to challenge me with? Okay. Okay, so we'll just give the calculator decimal. We're going to ask it to turn it into a fraction. Okay? So math, option 1 is your very good friend. Okay, math, fraction. Oh, it didn't even do it. All right, we'll make it easier for it. Fail. There we go. Okay. And so it'll just give you the fraction. So please train yourself. It's going to pay off later. If I tell you why, it won't make sense to you right now. But I need you to always be thinking, don't tell me 1.7, tell me it in fraction, please. Okay, so that was just one thing. All right, so let's practice. So let's do some legal stuff to both sides to solve the problem. So let's start with the problem 2 parentheses 2x minus 3. And then let's add to that 3 parentheses x plus 1. And then let's finish that off with 5x plus 2. So the beauty of math is as long as you follow the rules, you should end up with the right answer. It's when you go rogue and you try and do things that are outside of the rules. What did Mr. Becker call it this morning? They're not rules, they're community standards. Okay? All right. So what do I want to do first that's legal on this problem? Yes, okay, we're going to distribute. So let's take care of that 2, and let's take care of the 3, and we're going to distribute that. So that's going to give me 4x minus 6 plus 3x plus 3, and then that's equal to 5x plus 2 still. All right, so that was the first legal move. Second thing, what could I do that's legal here? Combine like terms. Good, you're using good math vocabulary there, combining the like terms. That would be probably grouping together the 4x and the 3x, so that's going to give me 7x altogether. It's also going to be grouping together the negative 6 and the positive 3, which will give me negative 3, still leaving me with 5x plus 2 on the other side. All right, now, what would be the next legal step? Okay, I'm going to deal with the 5x first. Okay, so subtract the 5x from both sides. And that would leave me with 2x minus 3 equals 2. What might somebody else have suggested as a different legal step? The add the 3, and that would be fine. It doesn't matter which the order. We'll add the 3 now. Either way, you're going to end up with 2x equals 5. All right, and the last legal step, divide by 2. And so answer is going to be what? 5 over 2, not 2.5, because that's a decimal. Okay, just leave it as 5 over 2. Okay, any questions on that one? That was pretty straightforward. I don't know about you. Maybe it's just because I'm a math teacher, but like that gives me satisfaction to do that. It's like the process works, it's very logical and it follows an order, and that's great. So I like doing that kind of thing. It gives me Yeah, I get great pleasure out of that. All right, let's try another one. Okay, we're going to solve this one. Again, we're going to train ourselves to do legal things to both sides. All right, let's take 5y minus the number 2 over 8. And then let's take on the other side 2 plus y over 4. Now here's where you might be tempted to do something illegal. You might look at the 8 that's on the bottom and the 2 that's above it and think, ooh, what could I do? The 2 and an 8. Yeah, you might go like, oh, I can reduce those. Wouldn't that be great? Illegal. Okay, can't reduce a subtraction problem. Okay, it's just one of the rules of math. Reducing only works in a multiplication problem, and this is a subtraction problem. So reducing is not the right option here. So that would be an illegal math move. Okay, so what would be legal? What would I want to do? All right, so what I want to do is focus on this side. I need something under that 2 to make this a legal problem. What do we call that in math? A common denominator. All right, I need a common denominator under that 2 so that I can add up on that side. So this side's fine. It has a common denominator already, but I need a common denominator over there. All right, well, the y over 4 is going to determine the common denominator. I need 8 over 4 as my common denominator, because 8 over 4 is the same thing as 2, and it's in common denominator form. Once I have it in common denominator form, I can write 8 plus y over the common denominator of 4. And these are some of my favorite math problems to solve. Once I have common denominator, I love to cross multiply. Okay, I love to go across that equal sign and multiply. And so I'm going to go across this way. Not just 8 to 8, but 8 also to y. It's distributing. When you cross multiplying is distributing. So the 8 is going to go across to both of those. So sometimes we get a little lazy and we just kind of do that. But that makes maybe you forget that you have to distribute. So I like to, do it both ways. 8 to 8, 64. 8 to y, 8y. Then the other direction, go to both of them also. The 4 goes to the 5y, and the 4 goes to the minus 2. So that's going to be 20y minus 8. Once you get past that cross multiplication step, or cross distributing step, now you've got subtract to both sides or add to both sides to make this work. All right, I'm going to start with the 8y. I'm going to subtract 8y on both sides. That leaves me with 64 equals 12y minus 8. Then I might add the 8 to both sides. That gives me 72 equals 12y. So all of what I've done is legal so far. And the last legal step then would be to divide by 12. And so y is equal to the number 6. Mary Lou, did you have a question? No? Okay, anybody else wondering about that? But what made that legal? What was the very beginning thing? Common denominator. Okay, that's what made that legal. Okay, next one. Solve. Absolute value, x plus 5 equals the regular number 3. All right, how are we going to solve absolute value problems? These we are going to do with the graphing calculator. So if you don't have that out on your desk right now, could you get it out, please? Because we're going to learn or refresh our memories on how to solve that with a graphing calculator. All right, so who knows when the last time you actually used this was? Maybe on your Algebra 2 final. So first things first, could you go to y equals, please, and clear out anything that you may still have there from the last time that you graphed anything. So go ahead and clear out your y equals. After you've done that, would you go to the window feature? And could you please make sure that your mins are set to -10, your maxes are set to +10, and your scales are set to 1. If we could all just be standard, this is called standard window, that would be awesome. Okay, is anybody having trouble with that? Okay, go to window and set it up as standard. Okay, then we're going to be ready to graph. Okay, in your y equals, you're going to insert the absolute value. And you may not remember where that's buried on your calculator, but it's under the math key again. So we've seen that the math key is helpful for fractions, but the math key is also helpful if you arrow over one table to the right to the NUM table. Absolute value should be the first option there. And so you'll pick that. And our absolute value we were working with was x plus 5. Anybody having trouble finding the absolute value? Okay, in the second line, so go down a level to y2. You're going to put the other side of the equal sign, which was equals 3. So we're going to put in equals 3. Does anybody remember, before I hit graph, what shape I should expect to see by graphing an absolute value? It's a V. Right, absolute values are a V. I think what you were drawing was a square root, which you're going to get to. All right, but yeah, we should expect to see a V. All right, so if you could hit graph, turn your calculator around so I can see the screen, and I just want to make sure that we are all good. Okay? Okay. Where's yours? Dead? No go. Okay, come back to you. Okay, thanks. Great. Perfect. Working. Thank you. Not working. Oh, yes, like number 1. Oh, okay, so minimums have to be -10. Your maximums have to be 10, +10, because that's what problems on there. Okay. Equals that. Okay, here? No, it doesn't seem right. Well, let me see why equals. You don't have to. Yeah, you can put absolute value in there. So let me clear that out, please. Okay. All right, so let's put absolute value in. All right. So you're going to hit your math button. You're going to go over to the number 2. Okay, now put absolute value. Oh no, okay, put it in there. Weaver, did you figure it out?
Yeah.
Okay, what was wrong?
I just forgot the parentheses.
Okay. Okay, now see, you're working on your homework instead of paying attention to what you're doing. Okay? That's not going to fly. Alright, because now you're behind. Okay? So you got to get caught up to what we're doing. Maybe Kate or somebody can give you the equation. Alright. Okay, so how many times do we see these two? Oh, I know. How do you show work for these problems? Right? Clearly, the two equations we just solved, with all the distributing, the cost, there's lots of work to show. How do you show work for this? Okay, this is what I want to see. I need to see you sketch the graph. It doesn't have to be on graph paper. Just all I want to know, I want you to draw me.
So just like draw a triangle.
Draw me this, and draw me that. Okay, I just need to know that you looked at it and you know where the V kind of was. All right, because how many times do these things cross each other? Twice. Right, and so then you're going to put little dots here to show that, and we are going to figure out what those numbers are, because those are the answers. Those are the solutions. And the calculator will find those for us. Okay, so let me show you how to do that. There's a calc feature, not trace, but right above trace, called calc. So that's where we're going to go to get the answers. So hit your second key, go to that trace, and we want option number 5, which is called intersect. So slide down to intersect and pick that one. Now, using, what's the matter? Did it die? Okay. Using only the left and right hand keys. Okay, not up, down, but only the left and right. Slide that cursor on top of that first intersection point. And you'll hit enter 3 times. It's like please, pretty please, and pretty please. Okay, 3 times it needs to, so 1, 2, 3. And then it will tell you that answer is -2, 3. So then on your homework, you've got your drawing, you're going to label -2, 3. So you don't have to show a lot of work, you just have to show me the picture. Okay, let's try the other one. Let's repeat it. Okay, so second, calc, number 5 again, and using, again, the left and the right hand buttons only, so I want to go further left. Sit yourself on top of that intersection point, hit enter 3 times, and then that's -8, 3, and so you label this one as -8, 3. What do you notice these two things have in common? 3. They both do, because the problem said it was supposed to equal 3 anyway, and so those are the 2 solutions. Okay, is anybody having trouble the calculator's not getting them those answers? Let's try one more for practice. Okay, so the last one we're going to do is this. All right, so let's solve absolute value 5 minus 2x equals x plus 1. Okay, 5 minus 2x equals x plus 1. So I'll give you a minute to copy that down into your notes. And then go to your graph, or your calculator, and change your y equals equations. So I'm going to come back here. All right, I'm going to clear that out. I want the absolute value to be 5 minus 2x this time. So I'll go finding my absolute value, 5 minus 2x. Then I'll go to the second line, clear that out, and I want it to be x plus 1. Now this is going to look different. It's still going to be a v, but it's going to be a different kind of v. It's going to be upside down. Oh, excuse me, it's not upside down, sorry, it's slid over. And it's a slanty line instead of a flat line. That's what you should see. Okay, let me flip them around so I can check those out. Thank you. Okay, looks good. Beautiful. Any numbers? Can I see it? You're still not there.
Not there.
Alright, did you get this one, Kate? That's great. Okay, awesome. All right, so let's do the same thing. Second trace. Use number 5 as your intersection. Using the left and right keys only. So I'm going to go to the right this time until I'm sitting on that intersection, or it's close to 3 intersection points. Okay, I get some decimals this time. 1.3333 and 2.3333. So wait, I don't want decimals. So who remembers the fraction for 0.333333? 1/3. So it's 1 and 1/3. It's 2 and 1/3. Or 4/3. Yeah, either way, it's fine.
Does it make a difference, like, which one you choose, because there's 2?
You're going to do both of them. I don't care which order you do them in, but you are going to solve both. So that was the first one. And then we'll do second trace, number 5, and we'll move farther over using our right hand. Okay, don't use up, down. It won't do you any good, only left and right. And then when you're sitting on that one's a nice one. It's 6, 7. So for this one, you would draw the different shape that you're looking at. Dot those 2 points, and then label your answer. So there's not a lot of work. I just want to see a sketch. Doesn't have to be on graph paper. You don't need to use a straight edge or a ruler. Just the basic picture of what it's looking like. Okay? All right, and so that's it. You're going to have no word problems today. Just straight math and graphics. Thank you so much. Okay, you guys are all set. Great job. Okay, only one more period to go. How many of you had study hall 7? can do your math homework right away while it's fresh. That's done.